Hello, beautiful yogis, and welcome to your sweaty power yoga class. All you are going to need today is a yoga mat, some water, and a sweat rag would be nice because we're definitely going to start to sweat. Go ahead and roll out your mat, and without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into it. I'm so excited and I hope you are ready. We are going to start in a downward facing dog. So go ahead, settle in here, maybe pedaling out your legs. And when you're ready, finding some stillness here in your downward facing dog. Check in with your shoulders, drop them away from your ears, and just let your head hang here. Begin to shake your head no, just releasing tension through your neck. Maybe shake your head yes. Go ahead and just start to release your neck completely, letting gravity slowly open up your spine. Come up and down on your tippy toes, just waking up through your calves a little bit here. Walk your feet out to be mat width. Left hand reaches for that right ankle, taking a twist. And switch out your arms, opposite side here. Release your ankle and come back to your downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet and just hang here, bending through your knees so that your chest is resting on your legs. Maybe walking your hands out a little bit further and just letting gravity open up your spine once again. And continue to hang here, taking your deep inhales and exhales, going at your own pace. Slowly, very, very slowly, begin to roll yourself up, coming up one vertebrae at a time. Take your time. Your chin should be the last to lift. Arms reach up overhead, big mountain pose with a slight back bend. Exhale your hands to heart center. Inhale, big reach up. And exhale down, forward fold, bending through your knees. Awesome job. And walk yourself out to your downward facing dog. Hold here, just relaxing through your shoulders once again. Continuing to breathe. Bend through your knees, glance forward, and walk yourself to the top of the mat, forward fold. Slow rise up, one vertebrae at a time. Big reach up, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, straight back. Exhale, walk yourself back to a downward facing dog. And continue your deep inhales and exhales here as you become more and more comfortable in your downward facing dog. Walk your hands to the back of the mat, taking that forward fold once more with a slight bend in your legs. Maybe shaking your head no or shaking your head yes. Releasing through your spine. As you inhale, slowly rise up one vertebrae at a time. Big inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, dive over your lap, forward fold. Walk yourself out to your downward facing dog and hang out here. Take 2 cycles of breath in your downward facing dog. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling out your nose. Bend your knees, glance forward, and begin to walk yourself forward to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slow rise up, mountain pose. Exhale your hands to heart center. Inhale, big reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. And exhale, jump or step back to your plank pose. And hold here. As you hold your plank pose, you are building heat in your body. You're doing great. We're almost done. Keep breathing for 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knees and find a child's pose. It's your choice if your knees are close together or far apart. Push up into your box pose. Inhale, chin, tailbone up. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat pose. Continue to go here at your own pace, following along with your breath. Find a neutral spine, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Three-point down dog on the left side, left leg comes up. Be sure that you're not opening up your hips like this. We are going to even out your hips. If you glance back, you should be able to see your toes. Hold here, feeling that stretch. And release your leg. Right leg lifts up, 3-point down dog. Checking in again here with your hips, making sure that they're even. Can you see your toes? Release your leg, downward facing dog. Walk your feet out to be mat width and walk your hands to the back of your mat. Bend your knees and find a yogi squat here, bringing your hands to heart center, pushing out on your knees with your elbows, maybe taking a slight rock side to side here. Right arm comes down as the left hand lifts, taking a twist, and take some wrist circles here, going in both directions. Release your hand and take the opposite side. Wrist circles, both directions. Hands come into heart center. Inhale as you reach up and exhale, squat down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squat. Continue here going with your own breath, going as slow or as fast as you would like to go. And remembering that this is your practice and everything that I give you is just a suggestion. Find a halfway point in your squat and take small pulses. For 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down, yogi squat. Hold here. And find that halfway point, taking your small pulses again. You're doing great. I'm starting to feel the burn. I'm sure you are too. And come down to that yogi squat. Check in with your breath here. We are almost done with these leg killers. You're doing great. Find that halfway squat and pulse. We're almost done. You're doing so, so, so good. You're getting so strong. Big mountain pose, arms reaching overhead. And exhale, clasp your hands behind your back. Forward fold, taking a shoulder stretch here. You have the option here to shake your head no if that feels good. Release your hands. Forward fold. Walk yourself out to a downward facing dog. Left leg lifts up, 3-point down dog. Step through. Crescent lunge. Big reach up with those arms. Exhale, forward fold, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up, mountain pose, picking up the pace here. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Right leg steps back, crescent pose. Exhale, finding your flow through. Plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up, 3-point, step through, crescent lunge. Reach up with those arms. Exhale, forward fold, top of your mat. Halfway lift, fold, mountain pose, rise up. Hands to heart center, reach, forward fold, halfway lift. Left leg steps back, crescent lunge. And take your flow through, or go straight to your downward facing dog. Remember, this is your practice. Left leg lifts up, 3-point down dog. Step through, crescent pose. Inhale on the reach, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Mountain pose. Hands to heart center. Mountain pose, reach. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Right leg steps back, crescent pose. Take your flow through, plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up, 3-point, crescent pose. Forward fold, top of your mat, halfway lift, fold, mountain pose, rise up. Hands to heart center, big reach, forward fold, diving over your lap. Inhale, halfway lift. Left leg steps back, crescent. By now, I hope you're sweating. Go ahead and take your plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and down dog. Left leg lifts up, crescent pose, big reach, forward fold, halfway lift, fold, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, rise up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Right leg steps back. Take your flow through. Plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts, 3-point, step through, crescent pose. Forward fold, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Mountain pose, rise up. Hands to heart center, big reach up, forward fold, halfway lift. Left leg steps back, crescent pose. And take your flow through, or just go straight to your downward facing dog. Hold here in your down dog, taking at least 3 cycles of breath. Bend your knees and find a child's pose. Active recovery here, walk your hands by your feet. As we inhale, we'll come up to a kneeling mountain and exhale to your child's pose. Continue going at your own pace, following along with your breath. Inhaling on the reach up and exhaling as you come down. Goal post your arms, opening up your chest. And keep going here, just adding in that goal post. One more time. Hold your kneeling mountain and begin to take a slight back bend. This is optional if your back hurts. Please do not take it. But if this is accessible to you today, go ahead and lean back as you open up your chest and your throat. Use your core to lift you up and find your child's pose. Second chance for a back bend. Big reach up, mountain pose, hands in your back pockets, and lean backwards. You have the option here to maybe reach one of your arms back. Exhale down to your child's pose. Back bend number 3. Kneeling mountain. And reach back, maybe letting the opposite arm reach. Exhale down, child's pose. Back bend option number 4, mountain pose. Maybe this time both of your arms will reach for your heels. Continue to breathe here. If your back bend doesn't look like mine, no worries, you're still doing great. I want you to do what feels good for your body. Use your core as you rise up back to center. Walk your knees in, child's pose. Rock your forehead side to side on your yoga mat if that feels good. Hold your heels with your hands. Tuck your head under and rise your bottom up, taking a cat back variation. Take 2 of these stretches, going from your child's pose to your cat back variation. Walk your hands forward and walk them over to the left side of your mat, taking a side body stretch. Walk your hands back to center and over to the opposite side, continuing your breath here. Walk your hands back to center. Push up into a box pose. Tuck your toes under and find a downward facing dog. Take 2 cycles of breath here. Bend your knees as you glance forward and exhale to your downward facing dog. Come up on your tippy toes, bend your knees, down dog. Up on your tippy toes, bend your knees, down dog. Tippy toes, bend, downward facing dog. Begin to play here with some pop jumps. Maybe jumping up and tucking your knees into your chest. Continue going here at your own pace. Maybe we can hold a handstand. It's completely dependent on where you are in your practice. A few more here. Forward fold top of your mat and find a chair pose. Your arms can be over your head or at your heart center. Lift your heels up and down, engaging through your calf muscles here. Coming up and down, up and down. Hold here up on your tippy toes, straighten your legs, and take a cliff diver pose, reaching your arms all the way behind you. Lower your heels, bend your knees, chair pose, mountain pose, reach up, forward fold halfway, flow through, or go straight to your down dog. Bend your knees as you glance forward and take 2 to 3 pop jumps here. On your last one, jump to the top of your mat, chair pose. Hold here. Right leg lifts up for a high knee balance. And bring that knee over your left. Right arm is going to come underneath the left and take a bind here. Taking your funky chair pose. Slowly begin to bend into your standing leg a little bit more, maybe getting your elbow to touch your knees. Release your lower body, high knee balance, still keeping your arms just the way they are. Warrior 3 pose, trying your best to make that T shape in your body. Bend through your front knee, crescent pose. Warrior 2. Flow through, plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Take 1 pop jump, and on the second one, land in a chair pose at the top of your mat. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale your hands to heart center and take 2 cycles of breath here. Left knee lifts for a high knee balance, and take your leg over the right one. Left arm is going to go underneath the right one. Hold here in your funky chair, maybe bending through your knees to get your elbows and your knee to touch. Release your legs, high knee balance, warrior 3. Hold here, still keeping your arms the way that they are. Bend through your front knee, crescent pose. Release your arms, warrior 2. Flow through. Or go straight to your down dog. I want to challenge you to do 1 breath per movement, so either an inhale or an exhale. Left leg lifts, step through, crescent pose. Forward fold, top of the mat, halfway lift, fold, mountain pose. Hands to heart center, big reach, forward fold, halfway lift. Right leg comes back, crescent pose, flow through, plank, chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts, crescent pose, forward fold, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold, mountain pose, hands to heart center, inhale, reach, exhale, fold, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, left leg back, crescent pose, exhale, plank, chaturanga, inhale, up dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Take a pop jump all the way to the top of the mat, chair pose, hold here, right leg lifts, taking that funky chair, right arm is going to go underneath that left arm, hold here, maybe bending yourself in half if that's accessible to you. High knee balance, right side, warrior 3. Bend through your front knee, crescent pose. Release your arms, warrior 2. Flow through. Pop jump all the way to the top of the mat, chair pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Left leg lifts, high knee balance, taking that knee over. Left arm is going to go underneath the right and hold here. This is an arm variation that I'm taking, and this is an option as well. High knee balance, left side, warrior 3. Bend through your front knee, crescent pose. Release your arms, warrior 2. Flow through, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Check in with your breath. Walk your feet out mat width and walk your hands to the back of the mat, yogi squat. Inhale, reach up, exhale, squat. Active recovery here, going at your own pace. Inhaling at the lift and exhaling as you squat. Awesome job. This is a chance to check in with your breath. Left arm comes up for a twist and take some wrist circles. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, opposite arm comes up and take wrist circles both directions. Hands to heart center. Clasp your hands behind your back, forward fold. Maybe taking a slow shake of your neck if that feels good. And walk your feet in to touch. Inhale, halfway lift, releasing your arms. And exhale, fold. Taking a slight bend in your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten your back. Fold, still keeping that bend. Left arm comes up, bending through your right knee. Forward fold, opposite arm comes up, bending through that other leg. Forward fold, walk your hands out to a downward facing dog. Come up on your tippy toes and back down. Left leg lifts up, 3-point, step through, warrior 2. If you need water, this would be a great time to take it. Warrior 2 pose, super strong. Inhale to a star pose. Exhale, forward fold facing the side of your mat. Left arm comes up for a twist. Checking in with your hips, making sure that they're still even. Opposite arm comes up for a twist. Forward fold, center. Bend through your knees, taking a sumo squat. Star pose, warrior 2 to the front. Inhale, straighten your leg. Exhale as you hinge forward. And take a Trikonasana pose, triangle pose. Glancing down at your hand. And making sure that your arms are in one straight line. As you can see, I need to work on this. So check in, making sure that your chest is making one straight line coming down from the ground. Bend through your front knee, warrior 2. Pivot, crescent pose. Standing split, top of your mat, hands come down. Maybe you're playing with your balance here, trying to get your hands around your ankles. Find a drishti and stick to it. Release your hands onto the mat, maybe getting your chin to touch your leg. And when you're ready, taking Kundalini squats, getting that right knee to touch the back of the left. Go here at your own pace. On your last one, hold your Kundalini squat, getting your knee to touch that calf, maybe releasing your hands from the ground, and come all the way down to the mat, keeping your legs how they are. Front arm rounds over to the back, getting a stretch to the right side of your body. Release back to the top of the mat, standing split. Bend your front knee, crescent pose, and flow through. Up dog, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up, 3-point, step through, warrior 2. Take 2 cycles of breath here. Straighten your front legs, star pose. Exhale, straddle pose. And begin to walk your hands through your legs, going as far as you can. Although your feet are still on the mat, this is an inversion and you're getting all the benefits as if you were in a headstand. Walk your hands back in, slight bend in your knees as you come up, star pose, warrior 2. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, hinge, Trikonasana pose, triangle pose. Bend through your front knee, warrior two. Pivot, crescent. Left leg kicks all the way up, standing split, top of the mat. Maybe playing here with your balance, getting one hand or two to go around your ankle. Hold here. Release your hands to the mat. And maybe pulling your nose through to touch your knee. Begin here taking your Kundalini squats, going at your own pace. For 3, 2, and 1. Holding here. Bend through your front knee, holding your Kundalini squat. You're doing great. And come all the way down to the ground. Round over to the back of your mat. You should feel a stretch all the way through the left side of your body. Release your side body stretch. Standing split, top of the mat. Crescent pose. Flow through. Left leg lifts, 3-point down dog. Step through. Warrior two. Straighten your front legs, star pose. Exhale, straddle, fold. You have the option here to stay right here, or maybe walk your hands in a little further. If headstand is in your practice, this is a fantastic time to take it. I'm choosing the basket variation. When you feel like you're ready to take flight by slowly lifting your legs off the mat and bringing them into center. Take at least 2 cycles of breath in your inversion. And remember, if you're not in your headstand, you are still getting all the benefits of an inversion. If you are in your headstand, slowly begin to bring your legs down and maybe taking some shakes of your neck before you lift up, shaking your head no, shaking your head yes. Slight bend through your legs, star pose, warrior two, top of the mat. Inhale, straighten that front leg, exhale, hinge, Trikonasana pose. Warrior two, pivot, crescent, standing split, top of your mat, and do what you would like to do here, maybe playing with your balance, maybe keeping your hands on the mat. Good job. And take that Kundalini squat, hold, 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 hold. You're doing so, so, so good. Release all the way to the mat. And round to the back of your mat, glancing down at your left hand. Come back to center, stand up, standing split. Bend through your front knee, crescent pose, flow through. Plank, chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up, 3-point, step through, warrior two. Straighten your front leg and take your straddle pose. This is your second chance to take a headstand, or you can chill here, taking your straddle fold. Regardless of if you take flight or not, you are benefiting your circulatory system immensely just by being here. If you are in your headstand, go ahead and do whatever you would like to do with your legs, taking a little bit of playtime. As you can see, I took a diamond here, maybe bending one leg at a time. Just play with your balance. Slowly release your legs back down to the mat. And push up with your arms, maybe shaking your head no, shaking your head yes. Take a slight bend in your knees, star pose, Warrior 2, top of the mat. Straighten your front leg, Trikonasana pose. And catch your breath. You are doing so good. I hope by now you are sweating. I definitely am. Bend through your front knee, Warrior 2. Pivot, crescent lunge, standing split top of your mat. Do what you did here on the first side. Kundalini squat, hold. Keep breathing, you're doing great. And release all the way to the mat, round over to the back of the mat, side body stretch. Release back up to your standing split. Bend through that front knee, crescent pose. Take your flow through, or go straight to your down dog. Up to you. Left leg comes up, 3-point down dog. Step through, crescent pose. Inhale on the reach, exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, fold. Mountain pose, rise up, hands to heart center. Big reach, forward fold. Halfway lift. Right leg steps back, crescent pose. And go straight to your downward facing dog. 3-point down dog, left leg lifts. Step through, Warrior 2. Star pose, center of your mat, and take a big sumo squat in your legs. Hands come behind your head, and bring your elbows side to side, trying to touch your hip bones. For 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Big reach up, star pose, Warrior 2, front of the mat. Inhale, straighten your front leg, and exhale, hinge, Trikonasana pose. Bend through your front leg, Warrior 2. Pivot, crescent lunge, standing split, top of your mat. Bend your standing leg and hold your Kundalini squat here. Maybe lifting up your arms to balance. Come all the way down to the mat and round over to the back, side body stretch. Come back up to the top of your mat, standing split. Bend your front leg, crescent pose, and take that flow through. Plank, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up, step through, crescent pose. Forward fold top of your mat, halfway lift, fold, rise up, mountain pose, hands to heart. Reach up, forward fold, halfway lift, left leg steps back, crescent pose, and go straight to your downward facing dog. Right leg comes up, 3-point down dog, step through, Warrior 2. Inhale, straightening that leg, star pose. Come into your sumo squat, and we will reach for that ankle, going with your left hand first. Awesome job with your oblique crunches. Switch sides. Now going towards the top of your mat for 3, 2, and 1. Big star pose. Warrior 2, front of your mat. Inhale as you straighten your leg. Exhale, hinge, Trikonasana pose. Hold here, enjoying that side body stretch. Bend through your knee, Warrior 2. Pivot, crescent lunge, standing split top of your mat. Hold your Kundalini squat, lifting up your hands for balance. And come all the way down onto the mat, round over to the back side of your yoga mat. And meet me back in your standing split top of the mat. Bend your front leg, crescent pose, and take that flow through. Plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, coming all the way down to your mat, into a child's pose. It's up to you if your knees are close or far apart. And just chill out here in your child's pose, checking in with your breath. Taking a deep inhale through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Releasing excess heat. You did so good. Now we're going to wind it down and stretch it out. Take 2 to 3 deep cycles of breath. You have the option here to bend your elbows and bring your hands to prayer behind your neck to take a stretch through your arms. Take a moment to check in with your body, maybe noticing how it feels different than it did 40 minutes ago. Noticing, is there tightness in your hips? How is your heartbeat feeling right now? Is it beating fast? Is it beating slow? Just check in with your body. I want you to take this time to really feel into your body. Left arm is going to come up. Option here to thread it under your right armpit and bring your left ear down to the mat. Continue to check in with your body here. Really feel into the stretch. Where are you feeling this the most in your body? Are you feeling it in your hips? Are you feeling it in your arms? Where is the stretch located for you? And where is it the most intense? Big reach up with your left arm, unthread it. Right arm lifts up, opening up your chest to the sky, and thread the needle. Right ear finds the yoga mat. Bring your attention to the breath, focusing on your inhales and your exhales. Unwind your upper body, taking a big reach up with that right arm. Float it down and walk your hands to the back of your mat. If you are in a wide-legged child's pose, go ahead and walk your knees in to touch. And find another child's pose, this time with your knees touching. This will help to support your back and to realign your hips. Push up into a box pose. Left leg lifts up and begin to take big hip circles around with a bent knee and go the opposite direction, making these circles as big as you possibly can. Float your leg down. You're going to come into a pigeon pose at the top of your mat. The goal here is to get your leg parallel with the top of the mat. If this is not accessible for you, you always have the option to bend in your back leg to make the stretch a little less intense. When you are ready, walk yourself down, maybe resting your head on the mat or making a pillow with your arms for your forehead. Option to take mermaid pose here, bending in that back leg and maybe reaching for your foot, taking a nice quad stretch. Take one more deep breath. Release your back leg. Pivot, opening up to the side of your mat. Right hand reaches for your bent knee. Left arm comes all the way over, reaching for that flexed foot. Take 2 to 3 deep cycles of breath in your side body stretch. Release your foot, coming out of your side body stretch. Take your time, meet me back in your box pose. Right leg comes up and take big hip circles going in one direction. Opposite way. Pull your knee through, pigeon pose. And remember here that both sides of your body might show up differently, and that is perfectly fine. If you need to bend your back leg, go ahead and bend it in. And if not, if you're ready to rest, walk yourself down and rest your forehead on the mat. Continue to take your deep inhales and exhales. If you took mermaid pose on the first side and would like to take it here, go ahead and bend in your back leg, reach for your foot, and take that beautiful mermaid pose. Enjoy this quad stretch. You deserve it. Release your mermaid pose. Pivot to the side of your mat, still keeping that bent front leg. Left hand reaches for your knee. Right arm reaches all the way over, reaching for that foot, maybe even grabbing it here. With every inhale, stretching a little bit more in your side body, and with every exhale, allowing gravity to naturally open you up a little bit more. Continue to focus on your breath. If your mind has wandered off, just bring your attention back to your breath. Yoga is more than the movement. Yoga is also being in tune with your body and your breath. So I challenge you here to focus on your breathing. Release your foot, pivot back around facing the top of your mat. Your knees are going to be bent here. Reach around for your feet. Pull back like you're doing a cat back. Inhale, straighten your spine. Exhale, cat back. Go here with your own breath, inhaling as you straighten your spine and exhaling on the cat back. Release your feet, windshield wipers, walking your feet out to be mat width, and taking turns, letting one knee come in at a time. Rock and roll through your spine, rocking all the way up one vertebrae at a time. If you need to take any additional stretches that we did not take today, this would be a great time to do it. And if not, if you feel satisfied with today's practice, go ahead and find a comfortable position on your back. You have the option here to have your hands out on the mat, maybe having your hands touch the ground. My personal favorite is to rest my hands on my stomach. This keeps me in tune with my breath. Whatever works for you is perfectly fine. If you're feeling some pain in your lower back, I encourage you to bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet to touch the mat. And when you're ready, tune in with your breath once more, focusing on your inhales and your exhales. With every exhale, I want you to release yourself more and more into the yoga mat. Focus on how it feels to completely be supported by the earth below your feet. You are supported. You are protected. You are loved. You are so strong, and you deserve this Shavasana. You deserve to be here on this planet. You are such a strong human being, and you have survived 100% of your bad days. I am so proud of you, and I hope that you are proud of yourself. Stay in your Shavasana for as long as you would like. If you are ready to come out of it, slowly begin to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingertips, reach your arms over your head, point your toes, big good morning stretch. Exhale your knees back into your chest and take a tight hug here. Allow yourself to fall over to your favorite side, taking fetal pose. You did so much hard work today. I am so proud of you. Slowly begin to push yourself up to find a comfortable seated position. Thank you so much for joining me today for your yoga practice. I hope you enjoyed it. It is always such a privilege of mine to lead you in a practice. Thank you so much for spending your precious time and energy with me today. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed today's class. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you did not, please comment down below and let me know how I can improve this practice for you. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll see you next time. Bye.